Hi everyone, my name is Karis and welcome back to my corner of the internet where I talk about books and other things that I enjoy. We're going for a very cozy vibe today because it's those days between Christmas and New Year where I just have no sense of time, day of the week, any of that stuff. Combine that with the fact that it's currently snowing outside and I literally haven't taken this hoodie off since I got it for Christmas, and yeah, that's the vibe that we're going with today. So I hope you are all cozy and comfy as well. Today I wanted to talk about the books that I've hauled recently because I was lucky enough to receive a few books for Christmas, and I also treated myself to a couple of things that I wanted as well as a bit of a congratulations, you got through 2020 treats to myself. So I'm just going to get on with showing you the things. The first couple of things that I've got are actually from two of my amazing friends here on Booktube. Receiving these gifts from my friends just made me so happy. It just warmed my heart so much. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful to have got to know so many people this year, or got to know people that I knew on Booktube before better this year. So the first person that I received a couple of books from is the lovely Shannon from 155 Books. Shannon is actually one of the people that I've known for a really long time. We used to talk and were friends through Booktube previously because we both had channels and then stopped making videos and have both now restarted making videos again. When I came back to Booktube and saw that she was also back on Booktube, I was just so excited, and I know I've said it to her so many times, but I'm just so glad that we've reconnected this year. So the first book that I received from her was This Winter by Alice Oseman. This is one of Alice Oseman's novellas that centres around Nick and Charlie, who are the main couple in the Heartstopper graphic novels, which I absolutely love. And as Charlie is actually the brother of Tori, who's the main character in Solitaire, I'm pretty sure that she's going to feature in this one as well. I'm really happy that Shannon picked this one for me because I've loved all of Alice Oseman's books. I've read them all apart from the two novellas, so this one and the one called Nick and Charlie, which I will hopefully get soon and read that one as well, but I believe that this one comes first in the series and that one comes later. I need to have a look at the actual timeline of when this takes place compared to the graphic novels and also Solitaire. I believe that this takes place before Solitaire, but I'm not sure where it takes place in comparison to the graphic novels, but maybe I'm due a reread of them as well. I mean, the title This Winter would suggest that it's the perfect thing to read at this time of year, but I feel like I'm going to say that about a lot of these things, and you know I'm really bad at sticking to my promises of when I'm going to read things, but hopefully towards the start of the year this will be a really good one to pick up because it's pretty short as well, so I think it's one that I can just pick up when I need a bit of a pick-me-up. And the second thing that Shannon got me was this little Penguin modern classic. So this is a little series published by Penguin of these little mint green books, and they're all from authors of modern classics, and they're either like short stories, or I think sometimes they might be essays or poem collections, and this is the one by Daphne du Maurier called The Breakthrough. And Shannon knows that I love Daphne du Maurier because she loves her as well. We actually did a buddy read of Jamaica Inn a really long time ago, and we've both like talked about how much we love Rebecca on our channels. I believe that this is one of du Maurier's short stories. The back just says, a scientist's attempt to solve the mystery of life after death has chilling consequences. So I have absolutely no idea what happens in this other than that, but again, it's a super short one. I really hope that I can get to this soon, and I just hope it's as great as all of du Maurier's other books that I've read. So thank you so much, Shannon, for sending me these two things. I can't wait to get to them, and I thought I would just share the note that came in this because these were sent from my Amazon wishlist, and obviously you can add a note to those parcels, and I had a feeling that they were from Shannon because she'd asked for my wish list in advance, and especially the du Maurier, I was like, that's something that Shannon would think to get for me. But I opened it and saw the note and I was like, what? Because they haven't put in the proper note, I mean, unless this is what Shannon wanted to say to me. The note that they've included is for someone called Henry, and it says gift note included with how to be a good husband. So, you know, as much as I love these books, where's my copy of How to Be a Good Husband, Shannon? That's what I want to know. And the second person that sent me a gift is the lovely Rhiannon from Welsh Reader. Rhiannon is someone who I've only got to know this year. I think we've only been talking since about August. Well, it must be because I only came back to Booktube in around that time, and I became friends with her and started talking to her around the time that I came back, and I just can't believe that. I feel like I've been talking to her for a really long time. I feel like I've definitely known her a lot longer than a few months. She sent me a book and it was wrapped up as a Christmas present. It was just so sweet, and she also sent me a little card which is behind me on my shelf here, and I waited until Christmas Day to open the book because it was just wrapped so nicely, and I just like opening things on Christmas Day. So I opened it on the afternoon of Christmas Day and saw that it was Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I honestly don't know too much about this book. I feel like a lot of people probably do, but I don't know that much, so I'm just going to read the back. It says, will dark magic claim their home? Miriam is the daughter of her village's moneylender, but poverty beckons as her father's too kind-hearted to collect his debts. Then Miriam hardens her own heart and takes up his work. Her success creates rumours she can turn silver into gold, which attract the fairy king of winter himself. He sets her an impossible challenge, and if she fails, she dies. Yet if she triumphs, a fate worse than death awaits. Irina's father schemes to wed her to the Tsar. However, their dashing ruler hides a terrible secret, threatening mortals and winter alike. Torn between deadly choices, Miriam and Irina embark on a quest. It's one that will encompass sacrifice, power, and even love. So that sounds super intriguing. If you've watched a few of my videos this year, you'll know that previously I really tended to sort of steer away from fantasy. I have not read very much fantasy at all, but last year I read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang and I absolutely loved it. One of my favourite books of the year, like in my top 3 I would say, and ever since then I've been wanting to give more fantasy a go, and this sounds like something that I would really enjoy because, I mean, talking about the Tsar sounds like Russian sort of influences in this. I don't actually know if that's going to be part of this, but that's what I'm assuming. And also the fact that this follows 2 female characters, I feel like I'm really going to enjoy that. And I know that Rhiannon, I think she's finished it, or at least she's been reading it recently and was really enjoying it. And she said in her little note that it's a really good one to read during winter for like the vibes of the season. So I really, as I said with the book that Shannon got me, I really hope that I can get to this in January. I mean, it would be perfect now because it's snowing outside, but there are a couple of things that I need to finish, or I want to finish before the end of the year. But I'm sure there'll be many more cold, wintry days to come in the new year, so I can't wait to snuggle up with this one. So thank you so much to Rhiannon for sending this to me, and I will leave links to both Shannon and Rhiannon in the description so that you can go over and check out both of their channels if you aren't already subscribed to them, because they're just both so lovely, and as I've said so many times, I'm so grateful for them this year. Next, I'm going to go on to the books that I received from my family because I did get a few things from my parents. So the first thing that they got me, I actually cannot believe that I own. I think it's now like my most prized possession, and I need to find somewhere to put it because I'm really worried about putting it anywhere where it might get light damaged. So I need to think about that, but it is this copy of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and this is published by the Folio Society. Honestly, when I picked this up when it was wrapped, I was like, what is that? Because it was really heavy. It feels like a brick or something, but it comes in this beautiful box that has an R on the front here, and then you can see the spine through the box. And then if I take it out, this is the front cover, which is just, oh, it's just so pretty. The gold is like shiny, and the blue and the red, I'm just in love with it, honestly. And the front cover obviously like matches the spine, as I've said, and then inside the paper, it's thick, like you can tell that it's good quality paper. And then all the way through you've got different illustrations, so there are some black and white illustrations, but then on some of the pages, if I can just find one, you've got these full colour illustrations as well. So this is Maxim and the second Mrs. De Winter in Monte Carlo, I believe, and then yeah, there's just other ones throughout this, but I'm in awe. I cannot believe that I own this. Rebecca is one of my favourite books. I would say that it's maybe like my second favourite after The Book Thief. So I'm just so happy to own this, and as I say, I really need to find somewhere to keep it because I'm torn between wanting it on display because it's just so pretty, and I don't want it like shoved in a cupboard out the way because that's a waste, but at the same time I don't want it to get light damage. So I think keeping it in the box is a good idea, but I would like the spine on display, so I need to have a think. But yes, just I can't. There are not enough words to describe how I feel about owning this. Another book that I received from my parents is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is the sequel to The Poppy War, which, as I said, was one of my absolute favourite books of the year. So I'm so excited to own the sequel now. To be honest, I probably will try and listen to some of this on audio, at least the start, to get me back into the series, because I did listen to a lot of The Poppy War on audio. But I really wanted to have a physical copy because I did like to sort of alternate between the book and the audio when I was reading The Poppy War. So I think that's what I want to do with this one. So now that I have this, I can make a start on it at some point. But I do want to prioritise those few wintry things first in the new year. So we'll see. But as soon as I can get to it, I'm going to, and I just can't wait. I feel like the story is going to get so much more intense, and I'm going to be emotional, but I'm ready for that. Also, I mean, I know it's fantasy, so I don't know what I was expecting, but it's quite big compared to the first one, which I know I should have expected that it would be longer than the first one, but when I opened it again, I was like, wow, that is a lot bigger than I was expecting. I have faith that I can do it. I can get through it. The next book that I received was Erins Diary, which is written by Lisa McGee. So this is like a companion to Derry Girls, which is the series that Lisa McGee wrote. If you've seen Derry Girls, you'll know that the very first episode of the first series begins with Erin, who is one of the main characters, with her diary being read out, and the diary sort of features quite a bit in the first episode. You know that this is something that she writes, so that's basically what this book is. But like, having a flick through, there's pictures included in this, there's things like to-do lists, there's things that are like scraps of notes from her other friends, there's a letter from the school, there's all sorts of things. So I'm just really excited to get round to this. I think it will be a quick read, and I think it will be a really fun read. I'm not sure if it follows the storyline just from the TV series or if it follows other things as well. I'll just have to see, but whatever it is, I think I will love it because I love Derry Girls so much. It's one of my absolute favourite TV shows. It's like my #1 comfort TV show, and I can just rewatch it time and time again, honestly. I even went on my first little solo travel adventure to Northern Ireland last year, and I just had to make sure that I included Derry in that. So I had a couple of nights there, saw the Derry Girls mural. Incredible. So yeah, this will definitely keep me going until we can get a third season, which obviously we haven't been able to get yet because of everything that's gone on this year. But until the third season comes, I will be rewatching the old episodes and also reading this. So the next thing that I've got here is where there's going to be a bit of duplication with something that I've already shown. Now, when I put the little Daphne du Maurier book onto my wish list, and then Shannon really kindly got it for me, I was not expecting that I would then receive this. So this is the full box set, or I don't know if it's all of them because I don't know how many there are, but there are 50 in this box set here of the little mint Penguin modern classics that I was talking about, and this covers all sorts of authors. So obviously, as I've already said, there's du Maurier in here. There's also Shirley Jackson, which I'm really excited by because I read 2 Shirley Jackson books this year and really enjoyed them both. There's Vladimir Nabokov, Kafka, Chinua Achebe, Susan Sontag, loads of recognisable names all in here. And again, I can't believe that I own this. This is so lovely. And one thing that I really want to do now that I have this is really try and like make an effort to pick these up, because I did own, well I still do own, maybe like 10 to 20 of the Penguin Little Black Classics, which are a similar series but like for authors that were earlier in date, and I just never read them because I feel like I was always putting this pressure on myself to achieve my Goodreads reading goal, and I was like, well, I don't want to read them because I don't think they should count towards the goal. And so then I just didn't, and that's so stupid because what's the point of having them if you're never gonna read them? So I really want to make an effort with these to pick them up. I probably won't count them towards my Goodreads goal, but like who cares, and I can still include them in my wrap-ups and talk about them. So that is the plan. But obviously I do have a duplicate now of the Daphne du Maurier one, but my mom's a Daphne du Maurier fan. I have like other friends who really like Daphne du Maurier, so I'm sure that I'll be able to give that one to someone who really wants it. I also quickly just wanted to mention a couple of non-fiction different sort of books in case anyone is interested. So first I got Baking with Kim Joy. The Great British Bake Off is a true highlight of the year for me, and it has been for a very, very long time. I just love watching it every year. It just brings such joy and warmth to my life, especially this year. I've absolutely loved it. But anyway, Kim Joy was a contestant 2 years ago now, and she was known for her very cute, particularly animal themed baking, and she's released this book, and I believe she's released another book now as well, but this just covers some just really cute bakes, which I mean, I look at them and I think I'm never going to be able to do that. So for example, this is her Easter cake. Here's some little bumblebee cookies that she's made. I don't know if I'm going to be able to achieve the decorative, cute look that she is able to, because I don't feel like I've got that level of precision and skill. But as well as looking really pretty, the recipes do sound really nice. So I'm really excited to give some of these a go. I really love baking, and recently I've been like trying out some different recipes. I made a roulade for Christmas, and I've never made meringue before. So now I've achieved that, I'm sure I can achieve anything. And the other non-fiction sort of book that I received is also very crafty, and it's Lit Stitch. So this is a book of 25 cross-stitch patterns for book lovers, and this book just seems to encompass everything that I really enjoy. So I've got very into crafting this year. I'd done cross stitch previously. I'd done a few kits maybe last year or the year before, but I had a few that I hadn't finished, and during the first lockdown I picked them back up again and realised that it was something that I really enjoyed, and that has really branched out from there. I sort of put cross stitch down for quite a while and took up embroidery, and that's probably the main thing that I do now, because there's a lot more freedom with it, and I just love drawing up my own patterns and coming up with my own sort of ideas. I've also since Christmas started to learn how to crochet, which is something that I just decided that I wanted to do. I want to be able to make like really cute little animals, so I'm currently in the process of crocheting a giraffe. So yeah, I'm a big craft fan. It's been a real godsend this year in particular, and this book is full of different cross-stitch patterns, as the title would suggest, but they're all bookish and all themed around reading. I don't know how well this is going to pick up, but there's one for the really famous "I always imagine paradise will be some kind of library" quote. There's this treat your shelf one. There's also some patterns for some bookmarks in here as well. And the last two books that I have here are things that I bought for myself as a little treat to myself. I'm literally internally crying because I just bent the cover back as I was picking them up of one of them, and now it has a big crease in it. We're gonna look past it, it's gonna be fine. But that one is The Way Past Winter by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. Can you see? I don't know if it's gonna show up, and then I'm gonna seem like I'm being dramatic, but I just put a big crease in it because I dropped the other book on top of it. Anyway, Kieran Millwood Hargrave wrote my favourite book of the year, which was called The Mercies, and I want to read some more of her books. I do own her first book, which I can't remember the name of for the life of me, but I wanted to read this one in particular because this one I believe is also Scandinavian inspired, and The Mercies was set in Scandinavia, and I really liked that whole setting and that whole vibe, so I thought that I would really enjoy this one. This one is a middle grade, and I'll just read you the back. It says, Mila wakes to find her brother Oscar has gone. A dark clue suggests he's followed a stranger who visited them in the night. Then she learns that all the boys in the village have vanished except one, the boy mage called Rune. Together, Mila and Rune set out to find them in an extraordinary journey across snowy mountains to the furthest corner of the north. And then the three little words at the bottom describe it as enchanting, sisterhood and adventure. I thought that it might be similar in vibes to The Mercies, not entirely sure, but again, it's that really cold, snowy, wintry setting that seems perfect for this time of year. So another one to add to the list of things that I need to get around to really soon. And the last book that I have here, and the last thing that I bought for myself, was After the Silence by Louise O'Neill. Louise O'Neill is an author that I really want to read more of. I read Asking for It when I was at uni and really loved it, but I don't think I've read any of her other books, even though I own at least one more of them. I know that Leanne from Leanne Rose really loves her books, and I feel like I heard her talking about her in one of her more recent videos, and it just reminded me of the fact that I need to get on with reading more of Louise O'Neill's books. And then I realised that she had this new one out, and it actually sounds like my ideal sort of thing. So I will just read you the inside. It says, Nessa Crowley's murder has been protected by silence for 10 years until a team of documentary makers decide to find out the truth. It's basically all about this murder, I believe, that's happened on an island, but the killer was never arrested, and then a documentary team goes back to this island and basically starts to uncover the truth, I guess. But it sounds very true crime inspired. I absolutely love true crime, and that's basically what sold me on it. So I'm not going to really read too much more into it because of that aspect of it. I want to go into it knowing very little, but very excited to get to this. I might hold off on it until March, I believe, is when the Irish Readathon's happening next year. I might wait until then because I do want to take part in that, but next year. So those are all of the books that I have received recently, most for Christmas and a couple that I bought for myself. As I said, I will leave links to the people who got me things in the description, and thank you so much once again to Shannon and Rhiannon. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these. I would love to hear your thoughts. But other than that, that is it for today's video. I hope you're all keeping safe and staying well, and I will see you again next time. Bye!